versus movie. Which one was better? 1, 2, 3. She'll take... What am I going to get today?
That's a scapegoat, and it bothers me.
My flabbers were gasted, if you will.
Welcome to the Besties in the Books podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Ashley. And today we are doing something a little bit different over here. I know we do a lot of fantasy, romance, dark romance, romantasy, but today we're spicing it up for the new year. Happy New Year, by the way. I believe this is our first episode of 2026. Hope everybody's doing great so far. Happy New Year! Happy New Year. So today we're going to be doing kind of our version of like a double feature, you know, a book versus movie showdown, if you will, because we are covering and deep diving into The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. Most of you have definitely heard of this book by now. Because it was so viral, I think it was on TikTok originally that went super viral. Yeah. It has now become a movie adaptation pretty quickly, after the hype, which is awesome. Yeah. And it's, of course, starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, which to me may be the star of the show, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Always and forever. Love her so much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This movie came out, is it December, November, whatever it is, fairly recently. And
December, maybe? I don't know. When did I go see it?
Came up to me and he was like, I want to watch this. And I was like, crap. I definitely want to read this book first because, shout out to our friends over at Book Club After Dark. The episode that we actually collabed with them on, we did an episode here, and over there, they tied it in with their Housemaid deep dive, which was so funny. So that was kind of like my first introduction into this book. I didn't spoil anything for myself, but I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So they got it on the radar for us. So then when I heard it was a movie, I'm like, okay, wait, don't see it without me. Give me a second to read this book. And he did. So I did it. And then I'm like getting into it. I'm like, Liz, are you seeing this? Just read it real quick and we'll just do a video about it. Yeah. You know? And the rest is history. The rest is future. The rest is now. We are in the future.
Now. We're in the future. Back to the future. Yeah. See, I had heard of this book, I feel like, from everyone and their mother, because it's like I had so many clients. I feel like thriller is that genre that like everyone's into, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And this book just got so much hype that I had so many clients and people that I know who had just casually told me, like, oh yeah, I read it a while ago. It's really good, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of knew nothing about it. And that's what I wanted going into it, because everyone's like, ooh, the twist, the twist, you know? So it's like, I didn't want to ruin anything for myself, obviously. So that is how I went into it, was like you saying I'm reading it. I'm like, okay, twist my arm. Fine. I'll read it. I've heard from so many people that I should, and I haven't read a thriller in quite a long time. So mix it up. Plus it was nice because we both read this like around Christmas time. And so it's nice to have something like easy on the brain going on.
Yeah. And it was, especially after we had such a heavy, you guys know, who was reading book club with us, listening to our, Brimstone deep dive. We had a lot of heavy hitting fantasy books at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it was nice to just, I see why people take these on vacation. This book is probably the most that I saw out in the wild this last year is one of the Housemaid books, either 1 or 2 or 3. When I went to Hawaii, I would see people with it, just even it being at the gym. So I can see why people would take, we tend to have delusions of grandeur on our vacations over here. I don't know about you guys, but we bring all these books that we think we're going to read and we get like 2 pages in of one of them, So this though would be something that would be easy to grab, finish on a weekend, because I finished it in 2 days, finishing up stuff for Christmas.
Same.
And it was simple and I can go in and out of it, know, but it was engaging enough to speed read.
To keep going. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was finding is like, if I was at a holiday event with family and people were just kind of doing their own thing and chilling for a while, I could bring it up on my phone and read like a chapter here and there. It's not like Brimstone where I'm like, I need to be laser focused in paying attention. Otherwise, I'm going to miss stuff. I'm going to get confused later. I'm not going to know what's happening. And so this was a great, just like, I have 10 minutes to read. Cool. I'll pull it up and read for a little bit, like here and there. And I still read it in, probably 2 days as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So,
agreed.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We're going to give you all of our thoughts on the Housemaid book, but then also on the movie adaptation. So we're going to do our version of a deep dive on the book by Freida McFadden. So we're still going to give you guys, favorite character, favorite part, least favorite part, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do the 5-sentence summary of the book. With a little bit of a twist that we'll talk about here in a second, since we are going to be comparing it to the movie. And then we're going to be talking about differences, what were the characters the same in both, who we liked, kind of comparing. That way we can do a breakdown.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it because we haven't really talked a whole lot about this. So it's going to be fun. First 15 minutes are still spoiler-free. As per usual, we'll give you our spoiler-free star and spice ratings for the book and for the movie separately so that you guys can know what we thought about them right out of the gate before we get into the spoiler section. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, but before we get into any of that, we just want to say thank you so much for being here, guys.
Yeah. Seriously, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your book to come and hang out with us and see what we have to say in this deep dive movie comparison versus the book. If you are new to our channel and our faces, please make sure to give us a little like, follow, subscribe if you want to see more from us. We're everywhere you like those favorite podcasts, including YouTube. That's why you can subscribe over there. We're also on Instagram and TikTok, and we're Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. And if you want to join our book club, we're on Fable at Besties and the Book Club. So that's where you can find us.
Good stuff.
We're everywhere.
We're reading good stuff right now, guys.
We're reading good stuff. Yeah. It's going to be, this beginning of the year is actually quite diverse in reading. So if you're like, oh, I don't love, romantasy. Well, we have some classics that we're deep diving. Like, it's going to be a mixed up year.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's like we've got The Poisoner going on for book club. And then, we've got some romantasy going on for deep dive episodes, our mini series. Yeah, it's going to be great. So come over there and follow along. The chats have been really fun lately, actually. So I'm really enjoying it.
And let us know, what is your all-time favorite psychological thriller? Because, I need to incorporate some more in throughout the year. A little sprinkle to spice things up, for sure.
I feel like usually when I'm in the mood, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, I feel like usually when I'm in the mood for this type of story, I tend to gravitate more towards horror.
Yeah.
But I definitely went through my Gone Girl phase,
Yeah. Totally.
And back in college times. But I want to read some more thrillers too. So let us know. What are the best ones?
Yeah.
What should we add?
Yeah, totally.
So since we're here, it's 2026. Why don't we talk about something, a goal, I don't know, something that we want to do in 2026. It's on our radar. I don't really know that we want to call them resolutions because that puts too much pressure on it. But something you want to do, and maybe something left over from last year, 2025, that you never got to, or that you still want to do that for me, I was not motivated to do.
Yeah.
So do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Lead the way.
Lead the way.
Sweet chariot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So goal for 2026. My number one goal for 2026 right now is to get my formal ADHD diagnosis from my new psychiatrist.
Hear, 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 hear.
I'm just ready to move forward with some helpful tips and tricks to make my life more manageable and my brain more chill. So that's where I'm at. I'm enjoying the journey so far. I've seen my new therapist, I want to say 4 times so far, and we're on the right track. So yeah. So that's my main thing in 2026, because I feel like once I kind of get that a little bit more under control, things might start maybe clicking into place a little bit easier. I don't know. Maybe that's delusions of grandeur and everything will be the same, but I'm hoping it helps.
Well, it's not that it changes you. I think that once you know if there's something that you can have a definition for, then there are tools now in the year 2026 that can help us work with those things. Totally. So I think it's great. Yeah.
So to segue from that into we're calling it fave and fail. So this would be my fail. The thing left over from last year that I'm doing again this year. Okay. I bought another planner. But here's the thing. I used to be a planner person. to a T, okay? I would have, like, I have my appointment book for work and stuff, but no, this was separate. I'd have, like, one of the big ones that you get at Michael's, you know, that's like a full-on book, and I would plan out every week, every month. I would have, you know, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. Like, I was so organized. And then 2020 hit, and everything fell apart, and I have not seen a planner since that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again. So I like went on Etsy. I found a really cute, I typed in like goth planner, you know, because I was like, I don't want one from Michael's. Like, we need a different vibe. So I got this really cute planner. Like, I, you know, went the extra mile and had it like inscribed with my name and like all this stuff. So I'm waiting to get that in the mail. I'm really excited about that. But the reason why it's connected to my first goal is because I've been looking up. Because right now I feel it's like impossible for me to like do too much planning. I just look at it and get freaked out and then stop. This is why I haven't had one in 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years. I did look up that one of the, like, I don't know, techniques to kind of help with the ADHD brain and planning is to actually plan out several different versions of the same day or several different versions of the same week. So like high functioning, medium functioning, like low functioning.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that way it's like, because normally what I would do is I'd write down all the 20 things I need to do today, and then I'd only get 5 done, and then I beat myself up about it because I never am done with what I need to do. Yeah.
No.
It's like impossible. So this way it's like, ooh, if you have a super high functioning day and you get all 20 things done, great. But what's more realistic is this many things. And then if you're really not feeling it today, then just, you know, you could check off like the 2 things that you had planned. Yeah. And so that way it's like you're playing mind games with yourself, right? But that's fine. Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Well, because sometimes we gotta take it as the day comes. And some days, I don't know, I wake up too and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can conquer the world and I get everything done. And the next day I am the opposite. And I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. Yep. So that's good. So instead of beating yourself up on your off day, you're like, look at what I did on this day. You know?
Exactly. Like I did 100% of the 2 things that I had planned instead of I only did 10% or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, mind games are welcome. I'm excited to try it out and see if it actually works. I'll report back later.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Okay. So what about you? What do you have? Anything?
I am a world-renowned anti-New Year's resolution person. So good luck. I don't know if I feel like they're jinxed, if there's too much pressure, they're meant to be broken. So I'm going to tread lightly when I say this next one, because I'm like, okay, this is a goal of mine I made, not particularly for the New Year's, but I was like, let me get through the holidays and then I will work on this. Yeah. So I am at this point a chronic migraine sufferer, and it has snowballed to become worse and worse, and my quality of life has diminished. Not that I'm not happy overall, but like, you know, I'll have a day where I'm like 100%, everything's fine, like I'm good and getting everything done, and then I will crash the next day or a couple days later even. So it's not like a cause and effect. It's just I am on top of the world when I'm great, and then on my bad days I'm really bad, you know, and I'm in a dark room and nothing's working. So my doctor had given me some migraine medication in the summer, and it works sometimes. The problem is I suffer from migraines and headaches, so you never know what you really have going on. So sometimes the migraine medicine works and sometimes it doesn't. So my goal for now that it's after the holidays or 2026 is to kind of go through my checklist. So getting off birth control, getting the husband snipped, you know, getting him fixed. And so that's number 1. Yeah. You know, and I have like laundry, like not a laundry list, but a list of checking off the boxes to make sure that I'm not like, there's not something that I could be doing to stop it. Because if it's just what it is, then I need to figure out medication for it, right? But I want to make sure first, because no doctors have tried to find the root cause. Good luck. I want to find out why. I've had them since I was a kid, so some of these things might not be it, but they could be exacerbated, you know, by the birth control or whatever. So there's that. I have a broken nose, a deviated septum that I've been reading can get worse as you age, because your nose and your ears still grow as you age. So that could be contributing to it. Interesting. So if, you know, after a couple months of being off birth control, I don't find it getting better, I can see an ENT specialist about, you know, repairing that. And And then there's some other, brain scan, make sure there's no tumors up there or anything, just lighthearted conversation for the new year. But really, it's so hard to live like this,
Yeah.
Those who suffer from chronic, you get migraines too. Like it's so hard, it's hard to function.
Yeah. And I think, I think it's important. It's like, I love that, like, both of us for 2026, you're like, I'm going to figure out what's going on with my migraines. I'm like, I'm going to figure out what's going on with my chaotic brain. But that here we are telling you that, like, we see you and, like, it's important to take care of yourself and your mental health and your physical health. And it's, like, okay to make that a priority. I think that's important to remember.
Yeah. Totally. My fail, gosh, I don't remember what last year's goal would have been. Yeah. I think we had a lot of goals for reading and things like that we'll talk in our book wrap-up video, goals for the podcast and stuff, which we were able to hit a lot of thanks to you guys. Thank you so much.
So exciting.
We hit 1,000 subscribers over the holidays. So thank you guys. 5,000 on Instagram. So exciting. So I can't think of any from last year that might have been a fail. Maybe like keeping up on laundry better. That's always a goal every week of mine. I always fail.
Okay, listen. All right.
fail.
I was going to say, if anyone has any tips or tricks, but
do us a solid and ask your therapist, please.
Okay. Well, this might be crazy. Okay. But I actually recently came across, I don't know if it was a thread or if it was just like a reel, and I dove deep into the comments. I can't remember what it was, but it was basically like, what do you do if you have ADHD and you're trying to fold laundry and you can never get ahead of it? And it's like, I know for you, it's like you're doing laundry for a family. It's like for me, I'm doing laundry for me, but then also for my business. And so it's like just this never ending, like perpetual cycle. And, my husband actually made a comment yesterday because he went and bought us a new Dyson vacuum, which shout out to Dyson. Our last one lasted 10 years. Okay. So that's pretty good. With two dogs that shed
with
crazy.
2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally had to buy a new vacuum, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try it out or whatever. And so I opened the box, and it, like, comes not all, like, in one big piece. And I was like, absolutely not. So I just, like, shoved it over the side. I was like, my husband's going to have to do this. I can't.
Yeah.
And he's like, how is it that you can put together a Lego that's a bajillion pieces and you can't put together a vacuum that's like 7 pieces? And I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Okay. But there's something in my brain that just like short circuits out and like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And so it's the same with laundry where I'm just like, it literally makes me want to like scream sometimes to like stand there and do laundry. Audiobooks are the only way.
Yeah.
That I get through, or podcasts or whatever, right? So one of the hacks, okay, which this seems completely insane, but I'm like, maybe I could do it. I don't know. This one person was like, majority of my clothes, unless it's like really important, they not be wrinkly, right? Like professional stuff or whatever. They're like, I don't even fold it. I literally, my whole closet is just bins, and I just throw the clothes into the bin and then just pull it out of the bin. And I'm like, I feel like most of the time that would work for me. Like, do I need to be folding all of my leggings and like sports bras and like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could just throw it into a bin.
That idea also stresses me out. Because, like, especially we wear a lot of black T-shirts these days. Good luck if they're not hanging up or folded to see which one you're looking for. You have to, like, not care what you pull out of bag number 2.
I think that's how I am, though. I'm like, hey, I could have, like, a bin that's, like, bookish T-shirts.
Right.
And I can just reach in and... whatever I get, and I'm fine.
It's kind of exciting, actually. What am I going to get today?
Unless it's like a specific like work event or like something like that we need to have something specific on. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'd probably be fine with that. Like, do I need to know what workout top I'm wearing every morning at 5:30 before anyone even sees me? Like, literally no.
Right.
So, hey, I might try the bin method in some ways and see if it works.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, let's get real. Most of the time I'm pulling clothes out of bins anyways.
Because they never got folded, which is so much to begin with.
Because it's with everything. Yeah. You're onto something, you people out there.
Yeah.
Let us know if that works for you.
I will. I will.
And
I will
also
report back.
Yeah.
Just anything.
I've gotten that way with my kids' stuff, other than some of their hanging stuff. It's just like, it's just going in. Like their pants are just in the drawer. Go find it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey.
Yeah. It's just where it comes into wearing a lot of black that it's like, it's a little tricky to find what you're looking for. I don't want to get stressed out either because I'm always in a rush leaving the house.
See, this might actually be great because it's like, I'd say 90% of my leggings are just black and they're all the same. So it's like, why am I
learn that
folding
hack
these?
from you last year. So thank you. You're like, I just found the black leggings that I like.
Just
I got
buy
rid
the
of
same
everything
one.
else. Just buy black. So I bought like 6 pairs of the black leggings I liked. I wanted to get some more, and I wanted to get some in brown, like a really dark brown. And I was buying them from Pink and Victoria's Secret because they have the little pockets, and I like them. They're cheap. And they took away my pockets on all of them. And they're more expensive, obviously, because freaking pocketflation. Reducing the pocket size and increasing the price. I'm so pissed. It's like, now I have to go find. I mean, I got 6 pairs, so I'm fine. It wasn't a rush or anything, but I'm like, because they're always on sale during the holidays. Like, I'll buy some more.
Yeah.
Well, screw you, Pink and Victoria's Secret, for so many reasons. But that's another one.
Align, which is all I wear, the Align Lululemon, they do have a pocket one.
Yeah, I know. They're just really expensive, so it's hard to stock up on them.
Yeah, sometimes that's what I do. I do it for my birthday every year. I get 2 pairs of black Lululemon Align leggings for my birthday. Yeah. So maybe that's what we need to do is just throw all the leggings into a bin, throw all the book t-shirts. It's like book t-shirts, one bin, like work t-shirts, other bin. You know what I mean? Workout shirts, other bin, and then just choose your adventure.
You're still organizing. You're still having to like do that.
But it's no folding. It's no folding.
Yeah.
It's the
entire thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
That's everything about. I did post on my TikTok like a crash out about doing laundry, and somebody mentioned in a comment what they do. They said, so they used to have their laundry days, which is what I do. They said, don't do that. Have your cleaning, doing stuff around the house day be your laundry day so that you never sit down. Because my thing in my TikTok was that I'm a different person from when I started laundry by time it's ready to fold. So that's like usually 3 hours.
Yeah, for
sure. You're a different person. You're tired. You're doing other stuff. You've sat down, which is a big mistake.
Yeah.
And so they said, do it on a day that you're running around. But my problem is I'll forget that I'm doing laundry.
See, I already
no matter
do
how
that.
many alarms, no matter how many signals, everything. It's like, I don't remember that I'm doing laundry on any day. So I haven't tried that hack yet, but that's what I'm going to try. You try yours, I'll try mine. We'll let you guys know. Maybe in the, soon. Maybe soon. We'll see.
Soon.
I don't know. I was going to say
we'll try it.
We're filming it tomorrow, so that won't work. I was going to do the wrap-up video of the 2026, but we can't tell you then. So I don't know. We'll
give it a couple months. Yeah. Give it a couple.
Or reach out to us in DM in a month and let us know if you are wondering. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, laundry, the never ending.
I don't even want to think about it. I got so much to do.
Dude, for real. Okay, well, let's think about the housemaid, which ironically is laundry adjacent, right? Because I'm sure she did a lot of laundry.
She had it. She had it down.
Yeah,
she did.
Okay, so let's just start off here with, which is better, the book or the movie? But you want to do it on a count of 3.
Yeah, so we're going to give you our answer on the count of 3. Both of us are going to answer at the same time. Book versus movie. But we're not going to defend our answer yet. Our answers will be defending once we're in the spoiler section. For anybody that's hanging out here that hasn't watched or listened.
Okay.
Or whatever. To the book, movie, whatever. It's hard when we're talking about both, okay?
I know.
Ready?
Yeah.
Book versus movie. Which one was better? 1, 2, 3. Movie. Oh, okay. Movie. In case you missed that, both of us answered movie. We'll defend our cases in a minute. So, Liz, why don't you start us off with our book reviews, okay? Your star rating of a book review, a brief review, without spoilers. What say you? Here's you.
The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I gave it a 3-star. Basically because it was entertaining. But I did feel like the characters... Honestly, the characters in the plot were not super fleshed out very well. I don't know. I didn't feel very attached to anyone. but it was entertaining.
Yeah.
So did I think that it was like, oh my God, like, I don't know, so surprising and so like, you know, the tangled webs we weave? Like, not really. I was kind of like, I don't know, it seems pretty predictable to me, but I did enjoy reading it like in the moment. Even though I did notice several issues, like I had several issues with it, but I was like, it's a 300-page like easy read. So on entertainment value, we're giving it a 3-star, but it was definitely not lighting my world on fire by any stretch of the imagination. I did give it a 1 spice. So there's like a little bit of spiciness, but it was like pretty much like closed door. So that is what I thought of the book. What about you?
For me, I gave the book 4 stars. Basically the same reasons. I didn't feel like the main characters were developed as much as I would want them to be.
Right.
You know, a little bit, you know, give us, you know, just throw 10 pages for each character in for more development. Because I didn't care about them while I was reading it, you know? Anybody really. So to me, that's what brought it down to a 4 stars. But I honestly feel like if they could have made me care more about the characters and such, then it would have been a 5-star for me. So that's where I'm at. But again, not like critically like renowned, those kind of ratings for me. It's entertainment value as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you agree with the 1 spice for the book?
Maybe a 1 spice.
Yeah.
I don't remember it like, actually, I remember it like, you know, obviously they have things going on, but it shuts door right away. Yeah. So it's alluding to. It's different from the movie in that way.
Yes, indeed. I would agree.
So let's talk about the movie. What would you rate the movie, The Housemaid?
4 stars. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was good. I feel like you would enjoy the movie just as much if you didn't read the book. Like, which I think is great. You know, I feel like it has similarities and differences for sure, but nothing that's so too crazy. And I went into the movie just kind of thinking like, okay, I really like Amanda Seyfried a lot. I always have ever since, you know, Mean Girls, of course, and Mamma Mia. So I am pretty obsessed with her. I thought she did a great job. I thought that the story was told in an interesting way. I feel like it was suspenseful with a bit more horror elements than the book had. So we'll talk about that moving forward, but I think that's why it gets a higher rating from me, because it was just a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the movie did what I wish the book did, you know? And I would definitely give the movie... I'm like, what was my official spice rating? Let me see. I wrote it down. I think I just gave it a 2. So it was not fully closed door, that's for sure, but it wasn't like too over the top explicit either. So, but it was more spicy than the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I gave the movie 4 stars also, but a more solid 4 stars than the book, because I like the movie a little bit better. Because the things that were changed from book to movie, I do feel like it improved the overall story, plot, and character development. Character development still was a little lacking for me. Something that I'll talk about when we were defending the book versus movie. There was something in the book that I liked a little bit better, but that's all right. As far as the movie goes, they did a good job with the adaptation, which is rare. Yeah. It's pretty rare here that we'll say that a movie is better than a book. So
it's very true. Yeah, there was only, when I was thinking about it, only one thing I could think of that we'll talk about in a little bit here that I thought was done better in the book than the movie. It was minor and something that you wouldn't necessarily even notice unless you were really paying attention, I don't think. So, I'm excited to mention that.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, should we just get into the spoiler section?
Spoilers! We're going to dive into all the spoilers for the book and the movie. So if you are wanting to consume this media and not be spoiled, you can save it to a playlist and watch it later when you're all done. You know, the choice is yours.
The choice is yours.
But don't say we didn't give it to you.
All right. So we're going to start off with our spoiler section with our classic 5-sentence summary. So this is going to be of the book, not of the movie. 5-sentence summary, book only. But the difference is going to be that if Ashley notices that there is something explicitly different between what happened that I'm saying in the book and what happened in the movie, she's going to use her musical instrument to call that out. And then at the end, when we are comparing, if the plot is the same, then we'll go and we'll explain what we mean.
Okay.
All right. Let's see how this goes. I mean, honestly, I think
it's like a game show.
Like a game show. I think that this might be a good one to do this because while there were differences, it wasn't like insane. Do you know what I mean? It's not like every little thing's going to be different. So,
okay.
Yeah. Let's go. 5-sentence summary of the book, The Housemaid.
Okay.
Millie, a young woman who has spent the last, I put 10 years because I couldn't remember how many years she was in prison. Okay.
She was in prison for 10 years, but the age of her is a little weird between books and the movies. Okay. So, like weird. Yeah. a little, like not fledged out. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Inconsistent, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Way.
Yeah. Because I was writing this and I was like, how is she in prison for 10 years? This is crazy.
It's like prison for 10 years, but then like kind of juvie, but then adult prison. But then she's only seems like she's like early 20s. I don't know. It was a little rough.
It was fuzzy. There. Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll start over. All right. Millie, a young woman who has spent the last 10 years in prison for killing her friend's assaulter in college, is homeless and desperately looking for a job when she is hired as a live-in full-time housemaid for the wealthy and well-connected Winchester family, Nina, Andrew, and their daughter, Cecilia. Good?
Sounds good. Good job.
Sounds good so far? Okay. All right. Millie soon realizes that Nina's behavior is completely erratic and nonsensical, and after learning that she used to be in a psychiatric facility for attempting to drown Cecilia and being warned by the gardener Enzo that she is in danger, she realizes that the situation is unsafe, and as soon as she has the money, she needs to leave. However, she develops a crush on Andrew, the perfect husband and family man.
I'm thinking that's the same so far.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Nina has Millie book tickets to see a show in the city and a stay at a nice hotel for herself and Andrew, but gets the dates wrong and is not available because she has to drop Cecilia off at camp. Andrew is unavailable to get a refund and invites Millie to go instead, which results in them sleeping together, Nina finding out and confronting them, and Andrew kicking her out, telling her he no longer loves her.
It was just a little different. So I felt cautious of that. It was just a little different how like the explosion happened from the like scene because, we have to talk about it later. Okay. It was just a little different. So put a pin in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew commits to Millie, and they sleep together in her attic room, where she wakes up the next day locked in and forced to do insane things, like pull her hairs out individually for him to approve her release. Meanwhile, we get an alternative perspective from Nina, who has orchestrated this entire scheme and act with the help of Enzo in order to get her and Cecilia out of this terrible, abusive situation in which Andrew has manipulated, drugged, gaslight, and framed her in order to keep them trapped for essentially the entirety of their relationship. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
I feel like they told that story well, honestly, in the movie.
Enzo was a little different in the movie versus the book.
Okay, we'll talk about Enzo.
Yeah, but we'll talk about Enzo.
Okay.
We'll talk about Enzo.
Okay. Millie manages to get out of the room and trap Andrew inside, where she forces him to pull out some of his teeth as revenge, and where he eventually... That's what I was hoping would happen.
Good.
It was just as entertaining as I imagined. Okay. And where he eventually dies from the torture and lack of food and water. Nina comes back to rescue Millie and finds Andrew dead. Says she'll take...
This is what you asked for.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Says she'll take the blame and lets Millie go. But it turns out that the officer investigating had a sister who was engaged to Andrew years ago. So she lets her off and calls it an accident so that she's free to start a new life. And then Millie moves on to help a new family with domestic violence problems.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Good job. That's a good wrap up.
5 sentences of the book. So as you can see, though, the ending was the only one that kind of lit us up. There was a few other differences, but truly it was mostly the ending. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that then.
Okay. Let's
get into the book versus movie. Okay. So obviously we both said that we like the movie the best, but let's defend our case and talk about if possibly the differences between the book and the movie had something to do with that, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, honestly, the biggest difference between why the movie is better, in my opinion, than the book comes down to literally the ending. Because I feel like the ending of the book is very almost kind of like anticlimactic a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said book, right? The end of the book is anticlimactic.
Yeah. I didn't think either of them were, so that's why I'm shocked. But
yeah,
hey.
I was kind of like I liked the twist that Nina was the one orchestrating this whole bit.
Yeah.
I did like that twist. Mm-hmm. But I kind of felt like the ending of him just kind of like, yeah, Millie tortured him a little bit and then he died. But it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't like the insane, like very cool, fun, feminine rage moment of like them working together at the end of the movie to like kill him.
Yeah.
In this very, very dramatic way. Like, you know, because in the book, he doesn't like bust out and like try to attack them and like free himself. He literally just like dies.
Yeah.
And then Millie just like,
fair.
Or in Nina just like finds him, you know? But in the movie, it's like this crazy, like he busts out and he's all bloody and crazy and they're like working together to like kill him, you know? That was way more satisfying of an ending, I thought. And so that's what bumped it up to a 4-star from a 3-star for me. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah. The ending of both of them I loved. So then I was like nervous that they would take that away from us, Hollywood, you know, because
they made it better.
I was so relieved and shocked and that they made it better. Cause to me, the book ending, my flabbers were gasted, if you will. Okay. So cause he was super perfectionist. They mentioned stuff about his smile and his teeth also in the book.
All the time.
He had, over the course of days, lost several teeth. She made him, put the books on his junk for like all day. So that boy smashed, And so to me, it was more like a long torture. Starve yourself to death, like to be starved to death is pretty horrific. And dehydrated and everything. I don't feel bad for him, but to me it was still a different type of psychological torture involved other than a quick death. But it was still very satisfying in the movie. It was just so different, but I did like what they took with it. Yeah. Because I think it would have fallen flat on screen had they done it that way, and I think that's why they made the choices that they made with the ending of the movie.
I agree.
So, and that's rare too. That's rare to find them do it better, the ending, because that's like the most pivotal moment of, other than finding out that he is the abuser and she, he tricked her and everybody around her to believe she was crazy. So, that whole ending, basically from the point of Millie getting out, was that funny, like hilarious, horror, crazy. Me and my husband were like laughing out loud. When he's all bludgeoned and his tooth is missing, we were laughing so hard at like the craziness of the moment. Like that uncomfortable laugh.
I mean, that's what's insane. It's like, that's what's insane about
that
like
insanity, that like American Psycho moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But also that like so deeply ingrained like narcissism to believe that no matter how bad of a situation you're in, like literally Millie is a killer. She'll kill you. She did. Okay. And you've driven Nina to this insane place of desperation as well, but to be so narcissistic as to believe that you're still going to prevail.
Yeah. And that was what was so scary about it too, with the uncomfortable laughter, is because unfortunately, there are people in that situation, maybe not to that extreme, I hope not, but that, the abuser is a smooth talker. He can be bludgeoned to filth at your doing, and he can still weasel his way out of it. It just showed that switch in his brain from being, okay, wait, that wasn't working. Let me go back to my charming, she doesn't have anything better but me. I've isolated her from everybody. Let me use that against her right now. And you can see her almost Amanda, her acting phenomenal.
So good.
You can see where she's determined, but she almost has like a hesitation in her eyes, you know,
Yeah.
but then nope, you know, and goes back to it. It was crazy moment. The actors did a great job in that, truly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
Whew.
Yeah.
I had a couple quotes that I wrote
Okay.
down after the movie that were hilarious to me towards the end. When Millie was breaking all the china specifically,
Yeah.
she pulls out the gravy boat. A gravy boat. I fucking love gravy smash.
I know.
And then,
it's so good.
so she's like talking about all the china smashing it. He's like basically crying. Finally pulls out his tooth. And then,
Well, I love it when she says,
I did hate that they had a missed opportunity because he took the tooth out, but it was broken.
I know.
I wanted her to go back in there and say, because that's what
you
I thought
have
was gonna
to
happen.
pull it out.
You
all
need
the
to do
way.
another one
Yeah.
at the root, but
Yeah.
that might have been what they did in the book. So I was like, then it just kind of went nowhere, and they just threw the tooth. But
Well, to go back to
maybe
the
they were
china-
like, I wonder if the movie people were like, that's too many teeth. You can get one tooth.
Yeah, because there was 4 in the book, right? I think she made him pull
lot,
out 4
yeah.
in the book. Well, I loved it though, where she goes, "I really hope that you have a really good China guy. Remember,
Yeah.
like I hope your
Yeah,
guy is
that's what it
really
was.
good."
I couldn't remember that one. I was like, dang, there was another one in there. And I couldn't remember. Yeah. Hope your China guy's really good.
Yeah.
Oh. And then she's breaking the China. And then she had his cell phone and he's like, fine, I'll do it. And she's like, oh, wait, I want to watch. And then she like pulls it up. I was like, oh, she's crazy. He met his match on this one.
Yeah.
So that was pretty iconic. Feminine rage scene right there for sure.
Yeah, I feel like, and it might be because usually I jump right over thriller and I go straight to horror, that like the level of unhinged that I read in these type of stories is more like the level of what they portrayed Millie to be in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I liked it better. Because in the book, I was like, okay, like I don't feel like she's crazy enough.
Yeah.
Like I
just
didn't
a
feel
means
like
to
she
an
was.
end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a bad situation she needed to get herself out of, and she was portrayed as a very like her circumstances have warranted her to become what she's become, right? Whereas I feel like in the movie, it was like, well, but
Yeah.
she's enjoying it.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
But I do wish that both Millie's character in both book and movie, we got to see a little bit more of that unhingedness. Even because we even get her inner dialogue for most of the book, and we don't get that unhinged version, you know? So I would have liked little glimpses, because we do with Amanda's character. I don't remember her name, but
Nina,
Nina, the wife, we see her switch. We see her be crazy, you know? And I do think something that the book does better than the movie is, I feel like in the book, we don't know who's going to be the crazy one. You know, we know something bad is going to be going on. Where the movie, it's like, okay, you know, we don't know it's the guy yet, but I liked not trusting anybody in the book.
I guess for me, and it's like, I think I put this in my review, I don't know if I've just listened, watched, and read so much true crime that I went into the book and the movie, like, basically, I went into it thinking automatically it was him.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, it's the husband, right? Like, literally, because unfortunately, it's like almost always the husband.
Yeah.
And so when it, you know, in real life and therefore in media, right? And so when it ended up being him, I wasn't that shocked.
Yeah.
I think what I was shocked about the most was that Nina had orchestrated this from the beginning as Millie becoming her replacement. That was the interesting twist to me. The fact that he was the piece of crap wasn't really that surprising.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fair.
But I did love that she was like, no, I'm playing the long game here. Like, we're finding someone. And then she finds out that Millie was, like, in prison for murdering a dude. And she's like, this chick's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Crazy.
So,
Woo.
I did love that.
And I like that in the, you know, in either cases, we don't know why she was in prison until later on.
Yeah.
So that was good, too. Yep. Good choice. Good choice.
So, did you have a favorite book moment that you'd like to share?
Favorite book moment? That fucking ending, bro. It was the ending. It was the ending.
The epilogue where she's like at the new family's house? And
no, it was like her locking him up.
Oh, see, my favorite part was the end.
Yes, I did like that. That was creepy.
Yeah.
With the mother-in-law.
Well, with the mother-in-law.
Or no.
But then.
Oh, you're talking about where she goes on to be like a hit housemaid.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And we'll talk about this later when we talk about sequels, but that is what prompted me to read the next book.
Oh.
There was no way in hell I was reading the next book until that epilogue hit, and I was like, are we going to get, like more of that feminine rage, like vigilante justice thing? So that's what prompted me. The epilogue was the best part. I thought, so just to circle back to what you said, though, about the mom. So that was the one thing that I thought the book did better than the movie. Was at the end of the book, it is very explicit. I actually looked up the quote, but of course I didn't write it down for this. But I looked up the quote. It's very explicit that the mom knows what they did. And she's is okay with it.
Okay with it because he must have done something real bad to do, you know? He had it coming.
He had it coming. That made me laugh.
But I felt like in the movie before that, you know the mother's evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did like that. Like you get heebie-jeebies from her. It's not explicit, but it's like something's up.
But
where
at the funeral,
the book, that ending was better with her.
It was better.
For sure.
Yeah, because it's like in the book she was like ambiguous. Like you weren't sure if like this, you know, cycle of abuse started with her or not. It was very ambiguous. And then at the end of the book, you realize that she's happy and knows what they did. At the end of the movie, you kind of get the sense that she is evil. She probably abused him. That's the reason why one of the reasons why he is how he is. And you don't get that full explicit, like she is aware of what they did.
Yeah.
At the end. So it was like a little bit more ambiguous, I thought, in the movie.
Yeah, weird choice.
Yeah.
To me.
I
Unless
agree.
they're going to be using that later, like if they come out with more movies, you know? So they're tying that in. Because in the book, I liked that, what they did better. But it's such a small, like little line they could have added in.
Well, I almost got like a weird vibe from that too, because it's like for a movie/book that I think focuses a lot on feminine rage and topics that need to be talked about more in popular media, to then make it in the movie kind of almost like blame the mother still bothered me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think the point here is that it's like we can't just blame women for everything all the time. And I feel like that happened by like, oh, well, it was kind of the same thing with like 50 Shades of Grey. It's like, maybe he just sucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, people suffer trauma and this impacts how they are in the rest of their lives for sure. But like, how about we don't blame the mother for how her horrible son turned out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a thought. So that did kind of bother me because I felt like she was a little bit better of a character, like more complex character, not so easily diminished to that one facet in the book, you know?
Yeah. For sure. Yep.
So what was your favorite movie moment?
Amanda Seyfried being free.
Which she's like,
where they made it, that she's pulling away and she's screaming, cut scene, and then it's actually a scream laugh later on. Iconic. And then her going to the hotel and just living her best life and feeling that finally free of this monster. Sheesh. Yeah. What about you?
That was a good moment. I just put them killing him.
Yeah.
Them killing him at the end. It's great. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't turn back on it because I was so worried about that. Which was kind of good as somebody who read the book and watched the movie because it felt different. It felt new. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to change everything?
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So it kept you on your edge of your seat even as somebody who read it before.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I did also like the fact that in the book, it was I can't remember now. It was the police officer's sister that was engaged to him previously. They changed it for the movie a little bit, but it was basically like the same idea. I think it was actually her that dated him in the movie.
No, it was the sister.
It was?
It was just a girl detective instead of a boy detective.
Oh, that's what it was? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was a sister instead of a brother or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a scapegoat and it bothers me on a level as far as like plot goes. But as far as like satisfying moment, I did like it because I was like, ooh, Karma's a bitch.
Yeah. And it wasn't something random. They do mention her at the beginning of, hearing their names are too similar. Nina's story.
Yeah.
Millie and Nina. To my brain, they're the same. So I keep mixing them up. Yeah, so there you go. So what was your least favorite book moment?
Enzo's weird ass character, honestly. Okay, so here's my 2 cents. Agree with me, disagree with me. I don't like it when you throw a character into a book and just make it a little racist. Like, I got the vibe, because the thing with Enzo, right, is that he is Italian. He's from Italy. So obviously he has a guy who can make fake passports. Obviously he's tied to the mafia. Obviously he does, you know, dirty underground dealings. I was like, I don't like this. Like, it feels ick to me. And then his character just wasn't... All the characters were just kind of too simple, but I feel like his character was just extra simple and weird. He's just like, and of course he's working as a landscaper gardener. Like, the whole thing just like icked me out a little bit, because I feel like Enzo's character could have been cool, but it just like fell flat. So that was my least favorite book situation moment. Sure. Yeah. Mine was... Everything happened so fast, meaning even the housemaid sleeping with the husband seemed like it happened pretty fast in both the book and the movie, honestly, but in the book too. You know, it's like, wow, this is like all within a month. Which for timing, okay, but yeah. It's like, hey, girl, you got to you're using your brain, but you're not, you know? Yeah. I mean,
and I felt like the movie actually did that a little bit better too, as far as I'm listening to the book and I'm just like, this guy's loaded and you're not taking an Uber home, you know? Yeah. And you're just going straight to his hotel room. At least like, in the movie, it was like they got separate rooms, you know? He paid to split up the rooms, going from a suite to 2. That makes more sense. Yeah. She's getting all these crazy messages. She thinks she's about to get fired and she's going to be back on the streets, and then goes to him for comfort. Like, that was a little better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Than the book. The book was like, okay, you just got wasted and you guys got a hotel. You dummies. You deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it just goes to show that it's like, you know, when you have someone like Andrew's character, it's like he's specifically seeking out vulnerable women.
Totally.
Because he knows that the likelihood of a woman who's financially independent and secure and not in need of someone to help them get out of a bad situation that they're already in isn't going to probably stay most of the time. You know what I mean?
Or doesn't have family around.
Exactly. Doesn't have family. Doesn't have people who are going to check in.
Family around. They don't have friends.
Yeah.
No one to like
intervene. It's like getting sucked into a cult. It's
or
like
even vouch for their character when these accusations come out at them. You know?
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, you know, so mentally manipulated at that point that it's like she's even doubting what she believes to be real and true. I'm talking about Nina. It's like that can happen to literally anyone, no matter what your situation is. For sure. But yeah, having the support system to jump in and be like, what's going on here? Like, you know, when you don't have anybody, makes it that much easier for them to be able to get away with that kind of thing.
Take advantage.
Yeah, for sure. What was your least favorite movie moment?
I didn't like that Amanda Seyfried. Nina. She's just too iconic. Sorry. Gotta give her credit. I didn't like when she came back and let him out. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. You're letting him out.
Well, she thought that Millie was in there. She thought Millie was in there.
Yeah, I know. But like, but
it was frustrating.
But it was necessary. We needed that.
Yeah.
I also didn't like, and this is nitpicking at this point, but we have to because that's what we're doing here. I didn't like that specifically he was having her cut her stomach 21 times. Like, there's so many things wrong with that. That took me out in that moment. That
because it didn't happen in the book, so they made that.
Yeah, and I understand that the book might not have, it might not have been as effective on screen, you know, in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So, but there had to have been a different way. Because to me, I'm like, he's a perfectionist, and he's not going to let her be all scarred up like that. And I mean, you could bleed out. also. For the first punishment, too.
Yeah. Well, especially because, like, think about it. Like, someone like him, right, status is everything. So it's like, what, you're going to take your new girlfriend, wife, to, like, some resort and she can't, like, even wear a bikini because you marred her whole body. Like, that's not realistic.
Yeah, so that definitely took me out.
Yeah.
They could have done something different. Again, I'm nitpicking, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. I just put my least favorite movie moment was what I already told you, where they changed the mom's quote at the end, making her character different. I thought that was really important. Another thing that bothered me and pulled me out was that it's very kind of like harped upon in the book that Nina is substantially less attractive, we'll say, than Andrew. And I'm sorry, but in what world is Amanda Seyfried not, like, stunningly beautiful? I don't know. I was like, this is a little hard to believe. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, let's talk about that, okay? Because, yes, when I saw the, trailers for this movie and everything, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Those are interesting. Are they trying to make us feel like she's old? Because she's not. They look like the same age. Where are they going with this?
Yeah.
And then I read the book, and I'm just like, this isn't going to make any sense as far as that translation from book to movie characters go. And sure enough, it didn't. I love how they just, like, smudged her lipstick a little bit and then, like, fluffed up her hair a little bit to make her look a little bit more unkept.
Like, she had, like, flyaways. She had, like, flyaways up here.
Like, okay. Oh, she's horrific. Like, so that definitely didn't translate whatsoever. I mean, I'm glad that, we got her Amanda. That was great.
Yeah.
But missed opportunity to, like, actually cast somebody who could take that role by storm
or make Amanda Seyfried look like actually look bad.
Yeah.
It would take some work, but you could do it if you wanted to.
I don't know. Or that was their best try. They're like, we just can't do it. She's too beautiful. She's aging like a fine wine, by the way.
I mean,
she's
for real.
Stunning.
Literally.
How could you be more gorgeous now than when
her
you
hair.
were?
I know it's a wig,
adult.
but, like, I'm sorry, but her hair was so beautiful. Like, when he kept on commenting on the roots, I mean, honestly, that was really, really smart because I feel like that was something a true narcissistic sociopath would do. However, I was like, her hair looks so good.
I know, it was too in fashion. It was too ombre. Like, they needed to go hard with that one, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, put a couple grays in there. She's supposed to be older than him, too, in the book.
Yeah.
That's not the case, So, it's something that we're willing to look past because everything else they did so much better, but it did bug us as well. But since it was Amanda, if it was anybody else, I don't know if they would have gotten as big of a pass because it wasn't that believable.
She just played the character perfectly, so it was hard to...
But she played the crazy perfect. Yeah. She did. She really did. And that can be enough. That can be enough sometimes. Because she was almost crazier, I think, in the movie than it came across in the book, for sure.
For sure. I agree. Yeah.
Because you actually see the stuff getting thrown out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And
but what a great performance. Great. And what a diabolical plan. I love that plan.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, who was your favorite book character?
Well, again, like we talked about, the characters were tricky. So I had to really think on this one. So flaws with the character in and of itself, yes. But I did like that the landscaper was the only one who actually was giving her some help, trying to help her out and keep watch. Even though there are problems with it.
Yeah.
I did think
but it was weird. It was like... It was weird. I mean, it made sense at the end, right? That he was conflicted about this plan that he and Nina came up with together. He didn't think that Millie deserved it. He was trying to, like, subtly get her out of it or, like, help her out. So, it does make sense, but it's just, like, the way... It was very Desperate Housewives, and it made me want to rewatch Desperate Housewives.
But his character overall could have been removed. It was basically removed from the movie, which was fine, which we brought up for a second during the 5 seconds. He was basically only to get fired. He was in there for, like, very minor, just to creep out, Millie a little bit. Yeah. So that was fine because he wasn't an essential at the end of the day to get her out of that situation. You
That's
know,
true.
it was a little bit of like somebody believes me, maybe like a sliver of hope in the book.
Yeah.
But ultimately she didn't have to have him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that was kind of a big part of it, too, was like Andrew orchestrated this whole situation to make it look like she had some kind of psychotic break and tried to murder her own daughter just so that, you know, then he would be in total control. And all of Nina's quote unquote girlfriends believed him.
Yeah.
And so I think that, yeah, she was extremely isolated. That's why it gave me that Desperate Housewives vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't love his character, but it was necessary because otherwise no one would have believed her. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. I did hate in the book that she did ultimately sleep with him because then it's like it took the nice guy helping you out to like, well, he's actually just in love with her too. He did let her go and told her to start over and fresh, which was good, but you know what I mean? It's just like it wasn't necessary. Like, let's get rid of all that.
And can we talk about how Enzo is better looking than Andrew?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was like, what? And I mean, I had a whole thing on my Instagram stories about this. I have some strong hatred for the actor who plays Andrew. I don't know why. It comes from nothing. It was before I saw him in this role. So it's not even like I just didn't like him because of this role.
Yeah. I think but that's why I think he has this role is because he's very smug.
Yeah.
Like one of those guys who thinks he's so charming and smug. So then it works, you know?
Watch, he's probably like the nicest person in real life.
I mean, you know, but his face has a face like that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, ooh, Enzo. He gave like Al Seed and True Blood vibes, you know? I was like, okay, I can get on board with this. But then, of course, he was a completely inconsequential character. So
I barely remember him in the movie at all. I can't even comment on it now at this point, other than he you creeped her out, you're fired, you know?
Yeah.
Standing in the door.
So who is your least favorite character then from the book?
Other than the obvious husband, also obvious the mother-in-law, because now at this point she's responsible for him being the way he is. So that sucks. Could have avoided all this. Yep.
I put all the catty bitches who didn't believe
that
her.
too.
Yeah, I was like, you guys are.
That's hard because I mean, from what the storyline was in the book, those new friends, she would have already had this happen too. The whole scene with her child and stuff. Yeah. So she goes into this group with him whispering those things in her ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, careful because she's a little crazy, you know? So then you go in there but they're still quite a bitches for knowing that information and acting the way they do.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So what about
money.
versus the movies? So did you have different favorite and least favorite characters in the movie? Versus the book?
Favorite character in the movie, it was just Amanda Seyfried. Yeah. I think she did such a great job. Same. Yeah, such a great job. And no notes. Took that character and made it actually stand out to me and root for her. And then least favorite character would be the same answers. So
yeah, same. Mm-hmm. Except I would say in the book, I definitely disliked the mother-in-law less because of the fact that she was approving of the fact that they killed her son.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas in the movie, we don't know.
Yes.
We don't know.
Yeah. Liz, what's a trope that you loved first in the book?
I mean, I would say my favorite trope was the feminine rage trope. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't as strong as I would have hoped that it would be in the book, you know? Came through more in the movie.
So then with the movie, would you say your favorite trope was also feminine rage?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I put feminine rage and revenge for both.
Revenge.
Book and movie. Mm-hmm.
Satisfying ending.
Mm-hmm.
What about a trope you hated?
Ooh, sleeping with the boss trope. And just adultery in general. I don't love it.
Adultery in general.
Means to an end
no one
in
likes
this case,
cheater.
but no one likes a cheater. What is that? Did you post that the other day on your stories? Like we look over a lot of things, morally gray guys, but cheating? No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. So we draw the line.
We have to draw it somewhere.
Yeah.
I just put the trope I hated was the foreign gardener with unknown and convenient connections.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Okay, so let's give a little bit of a moment to the spice then. So we talked about how the spice in the book was very mild and closed door. They definitely ramped that up for the movie.
Yeah.
Do you think that was like just done because it's a movie and they want to sensationalize it? Or do you think that it was important to like move the plot forward?
It's a movie and they want to sensationalize it.
Yeah.
It's Sydney Sweeney. And so
any
excuse. She has a great set on her. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, hey. But yeah, I felt like the spice for both was, I don't know, it felt appropriate and right. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like it took away from the plot or really added to it. Really, it just kind of was there.
Yeah.
It was important because of the fact that Millie needed to sleep with him.
Yeah.
To move the plot forward. But yeah, the amount that they chose to show, I felt like it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't bother me.
The movie dragged on a little bit, but hey.
See, I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it dragged on.
We get it. Like, all right, let's wrap this show up. Let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah. I think I just hate him so much that I was like, ugh, I don't need to see this with him.
Yeah.
Like,
that too.
Like, she didn't bother me, but like him.
Well, I don't like when they put romantic music on it. I'm like, let's not do this. Like, romanticizing it. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
You know? This is
like,
pretty
it's
shitty.
Adultery and he's a piece of crap.
Yeah. As for the readers out there, we know it. It's not like this cute love story that like, oh, he's getting the not crazy girl. It's like, no, leave your wife first. Either way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you also, as the reader, you're like, oh, he sucks. No, don't do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, hey. And I think because of that scene and the way that it was presented out in the world when they're hyping it up on a press tour. There we go. I think a lot of people thought they were signing up for a different type of movie. So they were a little taken back when it wasn't they thought it was more like a fun little, you know, because they were on the red carpet together, almost like a throuple, you know? Mm-hmm. So they were like, hey, what? which is pretty funny to me. But I think that was probably intentional because guys aren't going to go see it if they're like, hey, this is a feminine rage movie. So
yeah, it's true.
They already knew the girls were going to see it. They had to get the guys, and they did.
Yeah. Make it more of a thriller. Yeah. For sure. Mm-hmm. So, were you happy with the conclusion / ending? And do you have any unanswered questions?
Good. Happy. No unanswered questions. Yeah. Satisfied.
Okay.
You did? You weren't?
Yeah. I felt kind of like, okay, at the end of the book. But what hooked me was the fact that I thought that Millie was going to go on to be like this vigilante killer.
Okay.
Or like, you know, essentially like a hit woman for bad husbands. And so that's what prompted me to read the next book, The Housemaid's Secret. And I did read it in its entirety right after because I was so curious. I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. She's going to get hired to kill these bad dudes. And it's going to be more on the horror side, right?
Yeah.
Like she's going to go in and kill these bad guys. And it kind of is like not really at all what happened.
Okay.
Actually, book 2 had very little to do with book 1.
Oh.
And it was disappointing to me, so I will not be continuing on with the series because I just don't find it to be necessary. But I did have unanswered questions like what's going to happen with Millie's life? Like how is this going to turn into something really interesting? And then that is not what occurred. So
yeah.
That's okay. Not for everybody. Not for me.
Yeah.
But I did read it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So are you going to be reading sequels?
You know, I got them on Libby for free, the audio, and then I wasn't getting around to it. And then you ended up starting that one and let me know that information. I believe your quote was, could have been an email. So when I find out a book is like that, that's going to be a no for me. Nothing. So to me, I was like, oh, cool. But like, I don't need to read anymore because I don't care about any of the characters. And if I don't care about any of the characters, it's going to be hard to continue on. Yeah. It is fine to be a one and done sometimes. So I probably will just return them because I have too much to read that I want to read that I'm like, I don't need like a recycled story of the same story over and over again. Nothing was like unanswered that drove me crazy. So that's probably a no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have the Goodreads average because I was just curious about it. So it gets a 4.28 on Goodreads out of over 3 million ratings.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
3 million.
And that's high. 4.28.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Wow.
Did you, because I only read on Kindle, you did audiobooks.
I did audiobook.
You did audiobook. Okay.
Yes.
So how was it?
So the audiobook was all right because here's my review right after I finished it. It seemed like Millie didn't have a New Jersey accent sometimes, and then it would come out. So it's kind of weird when that happens. Like, you got to commit or not. And then the Mina's character definitely seemed older. So that's what was like, took me a minute in the movie to like readjust myself, you know? So I didn't love the narration per se, but listening to the audiobook was great. Some of the reviews that I saw said it was perfect to listen to it instead of physically reading because the author is so repetitive that when you're listening to an audiobook casually, it's okay if it comes up a couple times because you might have missed it.
You like don't notice. It's
But as a reader, it was more annoying, you know? When it was,
and it wasn't a dual narration; it was just a single narration.
Yeah, it was just if it was two for the different girls, I don't know. You know.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a different inflection. It is one narrator, Lauren Allman. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm throwing a curveball at you. I looked up reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
For the movie.
Good idea.
So we could see what people are saying about the movie. So Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't a fully reliable source right now, because there's only 175 reviews submitted, which is odd, which I'll tell you why in a second when I get to the fun fact. But it's getting a 73% so far.
Okay.
Which I feel like for a movie like this, it's pretty high. I feel like movies like this can be polarizing to the general public sometimes. You know, because femme rage and all that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah, chauvinist and bias and
I was gonna say just overall misogyny. Like
misogyny,
I could definitely
bring it down.
I could see people being like, I don't want to watch a movie about some guy who is crappy to his wife. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, but representation matters.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I can read off a couple reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. This dude, Mark, says, well made. Okay. Commercial yarn has the potential for a deliciously lurid 2 hours, but the Housemaid can't get scary enough to draw adult viewers into its web. Teens will most likely get a kick out of it, though. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay? Yeah, that is
okay, Mark. That's very interesting. And he gave it 2.5. So.
Oh, okay.
Javier says, mischievous cinema for playful viewers. Unrestrained.
That doesn't sound
Loved
real.
It. I love it. It's hilarious. This is literally the first time I've ever reading things off Rotten Tomatoes, so I have no idea how it goes. Like, what's it all about? I feel like it can tend to be pretty harsh, though, from other reviews that I've seen.
For sure.
So, Sammy says, this is a genre that thrives, not on characters or plot or good writing, but rather on its ability to make you gasp, laugh, and groan in equal measure. And in that respect, The Housemaid does not disappoint. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, pretty good. Sarah says it's a goofily inspired romp through violence, gaslighting, female empowerment, and bloody revenge. Its core events centered around two titanically exuberant performances from stars such as Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney that are difficult to resist.
For sure.
So they make it is basically, right, what she's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up because I was just curious. I mean, there's over 41,000 reviews on Audible and it gets a 4.6. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have as many issues with the switching
the narrator
accents as I did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
You know,
okay.
I did want to say something because I was thinking about this in particular at the movie theater, and I was sitting down and I was like, okay, because I went and saw It Ends With Us at the movie theater. And obviously that is not similar, but similar in the way that, it's depicting significant psychological and physical abuse on the big screen, which I feel like from the female's perspective almost exclusively. And so I appreciated that. Obviously she's an unreliable narrator lots of the time, but it's still, I feel like, was done really well in movie form. And I feel like this one was done really well in movie form. And it kind of got me thinking, like, okay, if we're getting the Colleen Hoover's turn, because I mean, she's having several other books turned into movies right now. And then obviously, this Freida McFadden book is a movie now. I'm like, I wonder if these are the stories that are a little bit more like palatable to the masses in the, quote unquote, like thriller or like romance genres that will be the segue into maybe us getting some more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's interesting to watch it happening in real time because it's almost like, are you guys realizing that we do like to watch movies that have to do with topics we're interested in or what?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where it goes.
That's a perfect segue into my fun fact because I was going to talk all about that.
Oh, okay.
So there weren't many fun facts about the movie because it's not like it has like a cult following right now where people are diving into it and finding out everything they can about it.
Yeah.
But what I will piece together here is that the movie so far has grossed 133 million worldwide.
Okay.
So it is being dubbed a sleeper smash, so that people didn't see coming. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are watching it.
Shocking! Yet again.
Maybe to some, not us. So in my opinion, personally, yes, this is showing proof for the need and that we're asking for more female-driven movie adaptations at the bare minimum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like I just said, like the fact that Colleen Hoover had It Ends With Us come out, that did fairly well, right?
Yeah.
And now she's having I saw previews for I think at least one or two more of her books being turned into movies right now. So,
yeah.
Hey, is someone waking up to this? Like that half of the population wants like more relatable stories being told about like female experiences? I don't know.
Yeah, and like, hey, let's not, because they do this sometimes. They just did it with The Woman in Cabin 10 where they just put it straight to streaming and then they cry me a river that it's not like
performing the
taking
way that it
off.
should. Yeah.
Like we need it's not that we haven't talked about, I read The Woman in Cabin 10. It's not like it was perfect, but it was entertaining and I would have gone to the movie theaters to see it. It's Keira Knightley, like it has the makings. So this could have they could have said, let's just put it to streaming. So I'm so glad that they didn't because yes, it's proof. 133 million is something they can actually tangibly touch, right?
Yeah. Well,
with their little brains, little man brains.
Yeah. Well, it's like we could scream it from the rooftops until like the cows come home, but it's like numbers don't lie. Why would romance be the best-selling genre and then like thriller is very close behind, right? Mm-hmm. And why would that not translate to film and TV? That doesn't make any sense. Like it literally doesn't make any sense. So hopefully these are like, is Colleen Hoover my favorite author? Like, is Freida McFadden my favorite author? Absolutely not. But like, I will go see these movies because I want us to get more.
Right.
I want us to get more. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like the numbers are right there in books. And a lot of us that read also love traditional media in that sense as well. Movies, books, TVs, everything.
Or just want to see our books turned into like, you read a book, you love it, you want to see the movie version. Hey.
And I understand it's hard, but try.
But try. Yeah. How about before you decide it's going to fail, you try?
Yeah. Give it a good college try, Oh, you can't? Oh, you can't. Can we just bully them into doing it? Well, you can't. You're too scared.
Well, especially because a lot of like those epic movies, right? I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of those epic movies that are like extremely successful, right? Because you were just watching Titanic. That's a love story, guys. Mm-hmm. Hello. Like that movie wouldn't have been what it was if it just told the story of what happened in Titanic without making Jack and Rose a main focal point. It's a love story. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
We as a book community have like what is it, reignited the book publishing sales and everything. Barnes & Noble is opening more stores. They were on the brink of bankruptcy. Hey,
Totally.
movie industry, so are you. Here's the thought. Adapt our books.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's no new stories anymore. We're just going to keep remaking, and remakes. Although I did see Anaconda and it was hilarious, but that's besides the point. But, so, like, hello, the books are there. You know, it's because they don't want to pay the rights, probably. But, oh well, do it.
All these
idiots.
good stories are there.
Yeah, they're there. There are good. We are not out of ideas yet.
No.
You just aren't. You're like, oh, wow, there's no ideas. It's so terrible. It's like getting books thrown at their head. Okay. No, you're dumb. So there we go, guys.
So do you feel like we have successfully covered The Housemaid as much as we can?
As much as we can. Yeah, there were like some little tweaks and differences here and there, but overall it didn't take from the stories in both cases.
Yeah.
So a happy accident that the movie was better than the book.
Yeah, totally. I'll take it though. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I will take a win for a win. That's for sure.
Okay, so then should we wrap it up with a smasher pass of the day?
Let's do it.
Okay. So listen, mine is a smasher pass of opportunity because it's a follow-up to my previous smasher pass that I asked that Ashley did not know the answer to, because now I know that you know the answer. And the people need to know. Someone 10,000 years later finally watched Frankenstein.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, can we get your thoughts? Second of all, smash or pass Frankenstein's monster as depicted by Jacob Elordi?
Best Frankenstein I've ever seen. I want to be his friend, so I'll give him a smash for that, but not like a literal, because he's just a delicate, sweet flower child. So I just want to.
You wouldn't be his bride of Frankenstein. You wouldn't let him carry you down the stairs.
I didn't like seeing his patchwork skin very much. So
the makeup was pretty freaking
something
cool.
pussy looking about it. Oh. Sorry, but yeah, the makeup was great. Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was really cool. His face is still glorious. Yeah. Good for him.
And he's so tall. Like
so tall. Love him. Love his character development. The movie overall, okay. Great. Was a little scared there. Had to phone a friend and say, "Does this get better?" Because this is a lot of body parts.
Yeah,
and
I'm
not happy.
It's a little gory.
My husband and I'm so glad. I am glad I didn't watch it in the movie theater. Wait, it wasn't on the movie theater.
I don't think it was. I think it just went straight to Netflix.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
By the way,
especially with Oscar Isaac. How?
And Guillermo del Toro. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say his name. Guillermo del Toro? That wasn't in theaters?
No, I don't think so.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, why is the movie industry dying? Because they don't give anything a chance and they just go straight to streaming. That's why. Because streaming, it's hard to... Anyways. So the movie, I'm glad... Either way, I'm glad I didn't see it in theaters because it's just too much body horror for me. Too much gross. I was we were gagging like, ugh, because it got pretty wild there for a sec.
Yeah.
So know that if you haven't watched it yet. But overall, it was worth it. It was a good story. Yeah. I wish it was a movie that I could watch over and over again because I would for the storyline, but I can't with... I mean, it's Frankenstein. They're putting bodies together, so it is what it is.
So I was just having this conversation with my husband because we're watching the new season of Fallout. So we're back with Ghoul, so I'll be talking about him again. But I was just talking to my husband about this because I love Fallout, but it's so gory. I mean, it's based on a video game. It's so gory. So everyone's always exploding someone's head or like something gross. I told him, I was like, there should be a feature like subtitles where you can turn on, like, you know, where they like in the 90s on TV, they like blur out body parts. Like if someone was naked, they'd blur out the body part. You should be able to do that, but for gory stuff if you want. Yeah. Because then you can still enjoy the story and watch it, but then you don't have to watch like the grossness happen. Yeah. Can someone do that?
Call me weak, but it is what it is. I would pay for that. I'd pay extra. To have that.
Literally. Yeah. At this point, it's like half the screen's blurred out and we've got subtitles on. It's like you're just reading now. Like, what are we even doing?
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody that has a website that'll tell you when to skip, when to fast forward.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I want to just have it flow and be able to hit a button and have it blurred out.
Right. Yeah. Because there's definitely like, I'm trying to look away and then I look up and I'm like, that's the worst time that I could have looked up.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Which I knew I was signing up for it, but still, nonetheless, that's where that went. But overall, loved the story. It was great. So felt like they could have made his descent into like, no, coming out of his madness, Frankenstein, the doctor, a little better. That was one little thing that bothered me.
What do you mean?
So spoilers, but you know, like, Frankenstein's monster is telling his side of the story, and then he finishes the story and he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I love you.
Oh,
I'm sorry that I did this
I
to you."
see.
You know, it was like too quick of a
like resolution almost.
Yeah, that I was like, I would have liked some reactions, but it's minor.
Yeah,
still loved it.
Yeah.
Anyways, there we go.
Yeah.
I have for you in the palm of my hand. Let's do some Nintendo characters. So today I will poise you with Bowser from Mario.
Okay, so I wasn't allowed to play video games, and now as an adult I don't like games. So I just want to make sure that I'm thinking of the right person. All right, person. Dinosaur? What is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he a dinosaur?
You know what? Now I'm looking at him. He's kind of a turtle, but I always thought
Like
of him as
spiky.
like a dragon or dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's very spiky.
Yeah. So he's definitely a smash. Like I've thought that before, like while watching like a cartoon or something. I can't remember what I saw him on, but I remember thinking that. Like,
oh well, if you did watch the Mario movie, he's like pining for Peach.
I think that's what it must have been. Because I remember watching it being like, this is what we need, but like the actual like real
his story.
People like version. Yeah.
Somebody needs to make fanfic of Bowser gets Peach.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, he's a smash through and through. Also a smash for you.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
That was an easy one.
Grumpy, like hello.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally. Well, there you go, guys. That is a wrap on the Housemaid. Let us know if there's any movies coming up that you want to make sure that we do this same style episode on, where we read the book, watch the movie. We're going to be doing it for Wuthering Heights in case you didn't see the announcement yet.
So excited. I'm literally, the fact that it's coming out next month, I'm like, I am so freaking excited to watch this movie. I hope that it is the romance adaptation that we are hoping for with a twist. So yeah, can't wait.
Everybody go see it. Money talks.
Yep.
You know? Yep. You want to see more movies like this. I think that's a good point that you made with like watches He Ends With Us and everything, is like, even if you're not that interested in it, going and seeing it so that it gets the ball rolling here.
Yeah.
It's the
segue. It's like we have to do not that these topics are light, but it's like we got to do the light romance because before we can get into the full blown. That's the point of the plot. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are new here, make sure to follow and subscribe if you haven't yet. That way you get notifications when we do post our next episodes, which is every Tuesday. Yes. Every Tuesday, except when we do our bonus series, which will be an additional Friday episode that'll start, I think, in February, because that movie comes out in February. Yeah. Something like that. So thank you for having us today, or having together. Thank you for being together here today. Being together, holding hands through this moment. And let us know what you thought of this movie adaptation. Yeah. Did you see it? What did you think of it? We're also on Instagram, TikTok. We're Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. And you guys, we will see you then
next
or
Tuesday.
Another time.
Or another time. Then.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.